The overall view of the US was that China was constantly pursuing policies that fall within gray areas or not so defined areas of the World Trade Organization's policies. China was the beneficiary of tacit subsidies, yet it was no longer on the road to converting its market-based economy. Although China did allow foreign companies to invest locally, less than transparent measures were often used to keep these companies afloat when officially they had gone under. International businesses were recommended, or rather coerced, to share their technology in a non-commercial way with the government of China, lest they lose a market share or be denied entry into the Chinese market. The economic scale of China has put an unprecedented political and economical strain on China's trading partners, therefore leading for the US to pull out of trading relations with China. It's unclear whether China and the US will come back to an agreement, but as of late 2017, there have been talks to reopen the trade borders between China and the US.
Greetings! Standing before you is Arbitration. I will be presenting to you the methods of solving a trade dispute. Some of the methods are arbitration, mediation, negotiation, neutral evaluation, as well as settlement conference. The very first method that I'm going to look at is arbitration. With arbitration, a neutral third party studies the bargaining situation, listens to each side's position and arguments, and then makes a decision about the dispute, as in how the dispute can be solved. This decision is usually called an award. Usually with arbitration is voluntary and it is less formal than a trial, and rules there are more relaxed. Also, with arbitration, the delays are cut down and settlements are sped up. The next method that I'm going to talk about is neutral evaluation. With neutral evaluation, a neutral person, who is usually known as an evaluator, listens to the summaries of evidence as well as arguments provided by each party. The evaluator then gives his or her opinion on on the strengths and weaknesses of each party's case and how the issue can be resolved. With neutral evaluation, the evaluator's decision is not binding, but it is often a good basis for the next solution, which is working on a settlement. Settlement conference. With settlement conference, parties and their lawyers meet up with a neutral person or a judge. This neutral person is called a settlement officer. They meet up to discuss the possible settlement of the dispute. However, the judge does not make a decision, but helps the parties evaluate the strengths and weaknesses of their cases, and they negotiate a settlement. Settlement conference can be mandatory. With it being mandatory, the court orders it, and then it can also be voluntary, where the parties in a dispute choose to go for a settlement conference as a way of settling their dispute. Thank you.
In conclusion, conflict is inevitable. Conflict may arise in any organization where two or more individuals or parties are involved who have or has different viewpoints or ideas. Conflict is inevitable for progress. For there to be anything new, there have to be an idea, and an idea can contradict other ideas, which is why conflict is inevitable. In terms of the conflict between US and China, it was inevitable because they had an imbalance. Hence, they both had the idea of the perfect balance for them to be in terms.